a dry race. He's actually running on wet weather rubber, so he's probably going to have to go into the pits and change tyres. So I would think that he's been allowed to run now, so he doesn't have to. They're going to make him change tyres, but they've said, no, you can run on wet weather. Now, these cars are roughly 600 to 700 horsepower. They weigh around about 800 kilos, and so you're talking about Group A power in a car that's just a tenth of the weight.
Yeah, that's right, Darryl. We've got these lightweight cars. You'll find a lot of wheel spin. This track's a little bit greasy, still a little bit greasy, although it's drying out in many spots, it's greasy, so keep your eyes on them when they power out of these turns.
Yeah, incredible cars. They don't resemble anything that you've... I mean, they're all models. There's a Mercedes, for instance, now. It doesn't look anything like a Mercedes. This is a very big field of cars as we go through the grid for you now. Poole and Trenoth there. Trenoth is the one that has been allowed to run on the wet weather tyres, but there's some beautiful cars here. Some of them, Gary, date back a little bit, but they're still very competitive, and they have been in some very serious racers' hands.
Yeah, what we've got cars that started their life as sports sedans. We've got a Chevy Monza there that started life, went to America for Peter Brock and Alan Jones to drive in the Miami street race, and in fact that car has been sitting over there for 7 years and is back here now in the hands of Mike Emery, number 10, starting from the rear of the grid.
They're still really nice looking cars, though. I mean, I'm really impressed with those. I just think they've been around for so long, the Chevy Monzas, but they look great. But you're looking at Holdens, you're looking at Hondas. They've all been highly modified, and of course the engines don't sit where they do in our family cars.
No, you're right. They sit right along your hip, alongside your hip, and in the hot day, the guys will be pretty happy because it's cooled down now. They get pretty hot inside those cars.
So you can see now warming up the tyres. As we said, it has been declared a dry race. Only one car, that's car 8, the Jaguar, has decided to go out on wet weather rubber. Now we'll know if that's the right decision or not. They were going to pull him out of the event. They've decided that he can race. But they'll be very spectacular around here, trying to control the horsepower around a circuit like this. Not an easy job.
What's happened, Darryl, is that now they've come under the guise of Thunder Sports. They've been permitted another 2 inches on the width of their tyres. The sports sedans run with 10-inch wide tyres. These guys run with 12-inch wide tyres, similar to the Group A cars.
Yeah, beautifully turned out too, these cars. I mean, they've had the special bodies made from, as we said, the engines have been totally repositioned. These are dead set racing cars.
They certainly are. There's a couple of cars, one coming in the back there that looks like Glenn Seaton's old Sierra Group A car. It is, in fact. It's one of his old cars, and it's now running in the Thunder Sports class.
Well, as you can see, the black car there to the right of the picture there, that's actually a Honda Prelude. Can you believe that? I mean, it looks nothing like the Hondas that you see on the roadway, does it? But it really does get along, let me tell you. Still wearing Glenn Seaton's colours there. The PJ Racing team, all about set for a start. Lights are up now. Watch these things get going. Talk about some hoochie cooch. They've got plenty of it. Away they go. Everybody gets away nicely and gets the power down nicely too. Have a look, the Jaguar stuck. He hasn't moved. I hope he doesn't get belted from behind. All the action up in front at the moment. They steam through the first corner, and the Jag, she's stranded, gone. Well, didn't have to worry about the tyres after all. Everybody gets through well and truly A-OK.
Briggs out in the lead at the moment from Monterosso. Monterosso in their RS2000 with a big V8 just being passed on the inside by the current Super Sedan and Thunder Sports champion. That's Brian Smith. We're in Monterosso's car at the moment following Brian Smith. He's got an Alfetta. Believe it or not, that's an Alfetta with a big Chev motor in it. And he is the champion. Now
the water coming off the cars in front and getting onto the screens, and they've got windscreen wipers, these cars, but the screens mainly Perspex, and they're pretty hard to keep really clean.
Yes, they are. They haven't got the wipers going yet. No rain at the moment. Keep your eye on Smith now. He'll chase Briggs. They're real
there's one into the wall, and that was hard too. And that sign, you can see Calvary Hospital there. That's fantastic, because I'll talk to you about this. That was Mark Poole that went into the wall. each of these cars is racing for a charity or a hospital or a ward, and as you can see, the Calvary Hospital, it's ended up in a sick little state there against the wall as Poole has gone in pretty hard and whacked the car. But it's been a wonderful thing from the drivers to put some money back into their favourite charity, which is basically a hospital or a ward.
Okay, we pick up Briggs in the lead, but have a look at Kerry Bailey there in the Southern Cross Yachts car. We just got a replay there of Mark Poole going into the wall in the Rosenberg Commodore. But look at this dice going on. Smith and Kerry Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey now all over the rear of Smith, and the little Alfetta. It's a pretty little car, but oh gee, well, this is good stuff. And when you see the horsepower go down on the straight, this is where it all happens for these things. They just point them and they go. Car 18, Kerry Bailey, which is a Toyota Supra. Can you believe it? Haven't seen a Supra looking like this one. There's the Alfetta. Well, he's gone past the Supra. Too much horsepower there. Now the Alfetta closes up.
Briggs in the lead. John Briggs, of course, ex-South Australian boy, now living in Queensland. This car valued at something like $200,000. It's a high-tech machine made of carbon fibre, Daz.
Yeah, John Briggs, I mean, he's been a long-time supporter of this class. As we said, these are real racing cars, very light, very powerful. And you can't believe that's a Honda Prelude, can it? Oh, look at that. You can see it just snap away as soon as he puts the power down. And here's a spinner now. This is car number 6. Barnes goes around, and he's lucky no one collects him. As we said, a lot of horsepower on a greasy track. It's a handful. Bailey now, all over the back of Briggs. This is good stuff. Plenty of power in the big Supra, no doubt about that. But the Honda out in front at the moment. Now they'll come on. One more corner onto the big straight. We'll see about the horsepower. Briggs tries to cover his tracks. Bailey now has a little dart out and has a look. He'll tuck in behind. Then he'll just jump out of the stream and have a big go.
Yeah, talk of Briggs going to Group A racing, but gee, he's a winner in this class. I can't see him doing that at the moment, but here is Bailey chasing him right up now as they head down that straight once more.
Good stuff from Briggs now. Gets right and keeps it tidy at the end of the straight. Bailey has to just duck in behind. You can see the track is quite wet there. Now he tries to put the power down. Briggs, though, covers his tracks. You can see the car snapping about under power. Kerry Bailey comes up beside him again, puts the nose there. He's done everything he can to force the error.
Kerry Bailey, he's an abalone diver. He's also director of Southern Cross Yachts. And he's trying to dive underneath Briggs at the moment. Keep your eye on the car running third. That's the Brian Smith Alfetta from Western Australia. He's just tucked in behind there, and as is Mark Monterosso.
Have a look at the horsepower now. Bailey says, let me have a bit of straight. And what about the hoochie cooch and the mumbo this thing's got? Just planted and went past Briggs and see you later. Briggs was holding him up, and he's just gone.
Smith, Monterosso in third and fourth respectively. Very twitchy, these cars, you'll notice, as they have very short wheelbase.
Oh, and car 49, they're all getting caught out. He just nudges into the tyres. As long as they don't hit him, that's okay. But David Attard,
Attard started from the rear of the grill. Attard started from the rear of the grill, so he's obviously trying very, very, very hard. Started from the rear of the grid, should I say.
So it's Bailey, Middleton, Smith, Monterosso and Whincup. That's how they run. Bailey's put in a great drive here. Had to get past Briggs. Once he did, just went for it. Monterosso there, and that's, you can see the vision he's got through that screen. It's a bit difficult, isn't it? It's pretty hazy.
Monterosso tucking in behind Smith there. Smith doing everything he can as they head down toward the brewery. But it's going to be very, very interesting shortly when they close up and they'll start lapping slower cars.
Well, you saw the brake lights go on. We'll take a break. Back shortly.
.30 Sunday.
Why don't you ask me?
A proposal.
You're marrying him?
Yes.
With fiery opposition.
I'm not going to squander my daughter. I'm going to have to break him.
You dare!
We'll elope.
And Jeff Edison's The Man from Snowy River, Sunday on 9.
When you want a work truck that's cut out to take the rough stuff, you want a Nissan Navara. And right now, all Navara single cabs come with free air conditioning. Nissan Navara with free air. Just wait till you drive it.
You see, I figured it was another tie. But when I open the box, I see this thing that looks like a baby typewriter. So I ask, what is it? She says it's a Brother P-Touch. She says it's a new electronic labeling system that makes adhesive labels in 5 sizes, 4 styles, and lots of colors. First I labeled file folders, computer discs, my videotapes, the cat. You've got to help me with this problem.
What problem?
Pump 7, thanks.
Don't worry, Dick, I'll get this lot.
Barry, I've got a couple of extras I'd like to get,
Don't worry,
thanks.
I'll get them and all, don't worry.
Barry?
I insist it, really.
Are you okay?
Absolutely.
You'll be taking off in no time at this rate, Mr. Sheen.
Taking off? Oh, Barry, you're unbelievable.
Flybys. At any Shell outlet where you see the Flyby sign.
Just imagine you went back in time when oat milkshakes were the best in the country.
Chocolate, vanilla malt, please.
These days you can still get the same fresh, creamy oat country milk bar flavours. Oak-flavoured milk goes down like a dream.
If you've been looking at a Commodore or a Falcon, you should look at this absolutely unrepeatable deal on a real luxury car. It's the Nissan Maxima run-out sale. Save thousands and thousands of dollars thanks to absolutely unrepeatable factory bonuses. Check these features. This is a limited offer at absolutely unrepeatable prices. Nissan Maxima. Just wait till you drive it. These deals won't last. At your Nissan dealer as soon as you can.
Out to impress. Only 17 of 28 Kangaroos will take a place in the third test. So Monday 8:30, they're playing for history. Australia take on Bradford Northern in a game sure to be full of fire. The Kangaroo Tour continues on 9.
Sports Carlex Challenge on now after 4 laps. It's Kerry Bailey out in front from Smith, Monterosso and Whincup. That's how they're running at the moment, and they're doing a really good job in this circuit. As I said, you can see the hospital strips across the windscreen. They're the charities that they're running for. This has been the real battle, though. Brian Smith in the Alfetta and Mick Monterosso, he's driving the Ford RS2000. Oh, and there's a spinner and just misses a wall, which wasn't too bad. James Phillip and another Honda. The Hondas are in trouble.
Yeah, that Honda, the X-Van Zelm car, not as high-tech as the Briggs car, but obviously runs a little bit better because I think during our break we lost John Briggs.
A little bit optimistic with the sunroof.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. It's not a good day to have that open.
The Alfetta now, you can see the windscreen blade gliding up there. They're just putting them back on again because the rain's starting to fall down. Locks it up. Smith under brakes a little bit. That's okay, though. You'll see a lot of that from these cars. Mick Monterosso trying all he can to get back, but Smith now just takes a little bit more from him on this part of the circuit. You can see how hard he's working, just tippy-toeing the car around. Remember, 600 to 700 horsepower in this. Your family car's got, what, about 120?
Yeah, 120, 140, and these things go. They're very twitchy, very short in the wheelbase, very hard to drive.
Really nice looking car, the Alfetta. It's a design to me that's never really dated.
Yeah, it was built by K&A Engineering here a few years ago. It's been updated by Basil Riccardello in Western Australia. This car's raced in Malaysia. It's a top motor car.
So Smith now in the Alfetta, doing a pretty good job holding Mick Monterosso up. And look at Monterosso, he really gets it a little sideways there as he kicks the power in, and you can see that you just can't do it with these cars. You've got to be so smooth.
Well, Mick's talking to Mick earlier. He's talking of lengthening the wheelbase in that car and putting a...
another one off car 49. Oh, that's a pretty big accident. You can see the fiberglass there comes down. David Attard, he's hit hard, no doubt about that. That's the Commodore, and another one in.
Charlie
21, they're going off everywhere. Charlie Sinisi, and that's in a Ford Capri, so he's gone off pretty hard as well.
Yeah, Charlie loves his racing, he was telling me earlier, and boy, I don't know whether he likes it at the moment.
Well, I guess it had to happen in this class because you can see how wet it is in some parts of the circuit. Yet on the main straight here, it's almost dry. So the drivers have got to really contend with a real wet circuit, then get back onto the dry stuff. You can see Mike Imrie there. That's a pretty car. I really like that looking car. That's number 10.
Yeah, that's
the Mazda RX-7. Gee, that's a nice car.
Yeah, that was actually the Monza that went to America.
Chevy Monza, I should say.
Yeah, that's the car. That's the car that went with Alan Jones and Peter Brock to race at the Miami Street Race in America, and has just come back to Australia.
It's pretty good value, these cars. I mean, they do hang around for a long time, and I know they're constantly upgraded and that sort of thing, but, you know, you can get some good value out of it. Look at Monterosso here as he comes down under brakes again.
Yeah, Monterosso, as I was saying before, is talking of putting a Ford probe body on there, lengthening the wheelbase a little bit, and hoping that the car will handle. Actually, the car was his brother's. He had a Commodore. He's bought the car now, and he's doing very, very well in it.
Well, Kerry Bailey's doing pretty well too. He's handled his track very well. Big car, a lot of power, but you can see he's handled it nicely. Once he got the brake, once he got past Briggs, he really just opened up the door. Monterosso's tried very, very hard. He hasn't given up. As you can see there, he just squeezes in to get round the corner. He's certainly having a go.
Yeah, the local South Australian, he's reasonably unbeatable here in his own state in club meetings and whatever, but he's certainly one of the hard chargers in this Thunder Sports class.
8.5 seconds the lead now. It's pretty handy under these conditions. With the rain coming down, the circuit is going to get a lot more slippery, but you can see he's got to contend with the traffic. Sits in behind, watch it. He'll come down into the braking area and just dive out. This is that car 10 we talked about, which is Imrie's car. It's got quite a history, and I still think, you know, they're still an attractive looking shape, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are, the Monza, and of course that's part of this, the enjoyment of this particular class. They're going to be trying to bring cars from America, from New Zealand, and from Malaysia, and what they're talking about is sending our cars back over to America, which is going to be pretty interesting.
Well, the public love them because they really do get sideways and they make the best noises you've ever heard in your life. They are aptly named Thunder Sports. Mick Monterosso is trying everything he can to bridge the gap between Kerry Bailey. The thing is just diving all over the circuit. He's got it understeering, oversteering. He's just fighting to keep it on the track.
That's this short wheelbase. There's something like a 96, 97-inch wheelbase compared with your Commodore of 105, 106 or 107, something like that with the Falcons.
Rain absolutely bucketing down again here now. You can see quite heavy the shower coming up as we look at the last lap. And the punters here have been terrific. They've stayed up, and you can see the rain back here again. Unbelievable here in Adelaide. You can go through the longest drought in history, which Australia in some parts is doing at the moment. Put a motor race on, it'll rain. But it's been really exciting racing today, and everybody, I must say, has done a terrific job on a circuit that's pretty daunting. Look at Monterosso now. He gets up on the inside. This is good stuff. There's got to be a touch here. They go, no, they don't touch. That's terrific driving.
Well, that's what I say. When that slower car's got in front, you watch what happens. And have a look at Monterosso. He's great in traffic, looking for an inside dive once more on Brian Smith. Brian Smith's not going to let him have it, though. Swings, turns the car in right, and heads off down that short straight once more.
I can't believe how twitchy Monterosso's car is. It really does just dive around under acceleration, under brakes, where if you look at Brian Smith's car, it looks so much neater, doesn't it? So much more tidy.
It certainly does. It's the development of that car, and as I said, that's Monterosso's brother's car. He's only just got into the car, so he's probably not used to it yet either, Daryl.
So, fighting for a position here, Mick Monterosso, he really has been the wild man of this race. He's done a terrific job to keep it off the walls, the way it's been diving around. He blasts his way down the straight for the last time here. Can he get him? Traffic comes into contention now. Smith dives up the inside. Certainly got the line. Monterosso now. He's going to try and get up on the inside of this corner. You can see, pokes the nose in. There's a touch. They've had the touch. Monterosso comes the other side, but Brian Smith keeps him covered there. Gets the power down nice and early. It'll be a dash to the line, but Monterosso can't do it, I don't think, from there. And look at this rain now. Absolutely bucketing down, and I think it's just about in time as Kerry Bailey takes the flag. He takes the win. Terrific drive from him. Once he got past, he did a great job. This is the battle for second and third. Up they come now. Brian Smith will get the power down. Monterosso won't give up. Dives up the inside. Won't get Smith though. Takes second. Monterosso takes third. Terrific display from the boys with these really powerful